and share the screen. So this is from something you forgot along the way. Okay. Yeah. So we wanted to learn about how to be more diligent in everyday life, putting more effort, and this story might shed some light. Reading in the dark. Horin's love of books. Horin, 1693 to 1741, was a highly learned and gifted Shin Buddhist priest. When he was 17, he served as a temple acolyte. One evening, the temple night watchman was making his rounds when he was startled to come across someone sitting in the darkness behind the lecture hall, reading avidly. "Who is there?" he called out. "It's me, Horin," came the answer. "How can you read in the dark?" The youth looked up at his questioner, and when he looked back down at the page, found he could no longer make out the words. Until that moment, he had been so absorbed that he was able to read in the dark. Another time, a friend invited him to join in a group going swimming. Without getting up, Horin said, "Wait a minute, I want to finish reading this." The friend waited and waited, but Horin showed no sign of stopping. "Come on," his friend said finally. "Go on ahead of me," said Horin. "I'll be along. This is so interesting, I can't put it down." "Well, wear this hat when you come," said his friend, and stuck it on his head sideways. Evening came, but Horin never showed up. When the others came trooping back, they found him still sitting with the hat on sideways, immersed in his book. The water wheel keeps going, no time to freeze. Yeah, this is one of my favorite poems in this book. The water wheel keeps going, no time to freeze, no matter how cold and bitterly cold the temperature becomes around us. As long as the water wheel keeps going and going, even though every other water might freeze, but this one does not freeze because there's no time for the water to stay stagnant and static. It's constantly moving. So that's the paramita of diligence, putting in the effort. Somebody asked us, "Oh, he didn't go with his friends as he said." Yeah, that's not a good deed. He was very young, so he was inexperienced in following all the paramitas. So these paramitas are also called as six perfections. So he hadn't perfected his paramitas because once he says, "I will be along," he has to follow through. That's the second paramita of keeping promises. So, yeah, that is one point. But the highlight of the story is about diligence. Yeah, usually we easily get so distracted, we cannot continue making effort. So, if we don't have a very strong sense of purpose, it's easy to go astray or go sidetracked and just go in different tangents. First, we have to examine our purpose, our intention. What is it that we are trying to do? And also in the bigger picture, too, in life. Why am I here? Why was I born? Why am I living my life if I cannot keep living forever? My time is limited. So if I have to stop living at some point, or it will stop by itself, so then everything I'm doing becomes irrelevant. So, what is my purpose? So, the more we understand what is that happiness that doesn't get destroyed even by death or sickness or aging, the more clarity we have about our purpose. and what is the happiness that is not uh, shakable or fragile. And yeah, the more clarity we have about that, naturally, the more effort we can put in towards that direction and then help people around us also. Of course, among us humans, we don't understand the grand purpose, so we only focus on today and try to find something that we are grateful about and we are happy. So we manage our pain. We try just to cope with life. We don't have that ecstasy or the joy from the bottom of our heart. I'm so happy to be alive as a human. So all people around us, they are like that. Without the wisdom of a Buddha, the enlightened one, we would never figure out the grand purpose of life or the grand happiness that is not subject to impermanence of aging and disease or death. So without that, of course, we would just set goals on a day-to-day basis. But although daily goals are very important, it's also very important to know what they all add up to. Yeah, what is the big picture? Then, like the water wheel, it has no time to freeze. It's constantly in motion, and we get the good effects as well. I think our health also improves when there's no stagnation. Um, Yeah, that's the beauty of making effort. Of course, when we rest, that's also to restore ourselves so we can pick up again where we left off and make the effort. So it is part of that meaningful striving towards the purpose. So good job, everyone, for being here, practicing together. We have Karma Lab at 5 p.m. Pacific and also advanced group session, 9 p.m. Pacific. And have a wonderful hump day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
My pleasure.